All right, y'all. Today we are talking to someone that you're going to want to listen to. Now, if you have ever said, I wish I made more money, stick around. You're in the right place because we are talking to Danielle, who did some things with her paycheck. Child, stop me in my tracks. So we're going to talk about how she doubled her salary.
A little more than double, but yes, double the salary. Like it's
In
crazy.
in how long a period?
From the time of the summit, I started my new job officially on January 31st of 2023. I received the offer the week before Christmas.
So
Yes,
that's 2 months. 2 months. She
two
doubles her
months.
salary. And there's like some magic in the middle too. So we're gonna talk to you about what
Yes.
she did, how she did it, and how you can do it too in this video. So let's get that money up. You're already working at a job you don't like, right? Let's get you paid more. At least you
Exactly.
don't like. Hi. All right. Hey. If it's your first time watching us, this is welcome to Exodus Summit, our YouTube channel. I am Rashida Dow, and I am one of the co-founders of the actual summit, the co-host on the channel. I am one of the queens behind the scenes. And I am super excited for this conversation today because one of the things we're talking about is how Danielle took action. She heard information and didn't let it just go boop. Like she heard information, she took action, and now her pockets much fatter, much fatter. And I want this for all of you. So let's talk about how you can do it too. I'm going to kick this over to my co-host, Stephanie.
That's me. Hi, my name is Stephanie Perry. I am the founder of House Sitter School, co-founder of Exodus Summit. I love to see Black women thriving while doing as little as possible. So this is why we cannot wait to talk to Danielle, because when you can double your salary, more than double your income without having to do a whole lot more work, it's just raining money. Okay. So we want this to happen for all of you. And so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Hi, Danielle. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. I don't know. I'll talk a little bit and y'all can let me know.
Okay.
I'm a talker, so y'all just
Go
rein
for
me
it.
in. But a little bit of backstory on me. I was in the military, then I worked for the federal government for a number of years and walked away from my good government job as a GS-15 about 7 years ago and went into the nonprofit space. And that was it's another whole story around that. There were just personal things in my personal life going on, and I needed to slow down, get some healing, exit a very unhealthy marriage, and I needed to get into a different space. So I had myself in that space, and during 2020, when I first discovered you all, I was doing pretty good, loved my job, but just not making enough money to do the things that I wanted to do. And I was going about it all the hard way. During 2020, I worked the census, child. I was out here knocking on doors, making $20 an hour to supplement my income. When I first found out about you all, I was on Cambly. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. Let me talk to the people. This is easy money. It still was not enough money. And coming into the conference, the summit last year, it was just perfect timing. I think it's your other, the wonderful trio of you, Adelia, that says the universe unfolds as it should. I think I was at the right mindset, and it just coincided with the summit. Kirsten's opening with just taking the limits off was the first thing that was like, okay. Because I thought listen, cashing out, it's a whole mindset shift. But initially I thought, okay, Teacher Jade, I went to that session. I created a course because at the job I was in, I was a director of programming. I did training. I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm giving the man all my good ideas. Let me go create some course content. But sitting there with Teen in her quiet, calm, deliberate delivery of that information, I was like, girl, you got the gold mine is in you. Like you're doing this all the hard way. So I had been promoted in my organization in a job that I loved that was not toxic, other than my money. My money wasn't enough. And I got promoted and out of a reorg, but I was brought in at a very low part of the next pay band, and promised that I would be upped into the mid at our performance management time. That occurred right before the summit. And I did not get brought up into the mid. I was brought half of what it should have been. It should have been a $12,000 raise. I got a $6,000 raise. But my write-up was excellent. I exceeded all my goals. I hired this new team. And so I'm sitting there listening, and I was like, I'm gonna go back here and ask for my money. Like, I need to know, do we not have the funding? Are we going under? Like, what happened? Because my rating says this, and it's something I would have told somebody else, like, go get your money. But I still was that last bit of, I don't know what it is about. I'll just say for me, I'll give advice that I won't apply to myself. So I was like, I need a meeting. I need my money. It was no threat of anything. I was like, I just need to know why I don't have all my money that y'all had. Totally boosted by the summit. And it was like, oh, maybe two hours, a couple of emails moved, one meeting with my supervisor. Okay, the raise will be in your next check. Just because I opened up my mouth and asked for it. Okay, that's phase one. So I was excited. I posted in the group, but there was just this moment where I said, I shouldn't have had to ask.
That's right.
I shouldn't have had to ask for things, number one, that were promised to me when I already was exceeding on the job. And then they have the budget. I knew they had the budget, but I had to ask the question. And so I was one of those people that was able to get a one-on-one with teams. She had generously offered some one-on-one coaching sessions. And that next week prior, I had a recruiter reach out to me. I have that happen to me all the time on LinkedIn, but I was fine, happy where I was, didn't really pursue it. But the fact that I had to ask for my money, and I just got this infusion of, encouragement and information from the wonderful presenters. I was like, let me see what they're talking about. Like, yes, I would like to follow up. And so what Teen really helped me do was look at my experience, step out of it from that mindset of, I'm the classic hard worker, rule follower. I don't want to oversell myself. If I contributed, I contributed. I'm not taking a whole lot of credit. And she was like, girl, no, like, you're amazing. You could be earning this. Like, you can easily get into six figures. And I'll say the numbers. With that raise, I'd gotten to 95.5.
Okay.
And she was like, oh no, you can easily get over. This is easy. Like, your experience, we're going to make this happen. So I met with her and just got the tools I needed. And when the recruiter reached out, I had no idea what the salary was for the job. I just was like, oh, okay. I go through this interview process after they had already had a couple of candidates and they just weren't happy with those candidates. So again, I just feel like God was like, let me help my child. She's finally there. Like, she's finally there. Let me just hold this job for her mind to catch up. I go into the interview and I'm like, this is me. This is who I am. And that's what I will say, that I've gained a lot from the community that you all have created, fully being myself. I was not in the interview mode and I have to have these answers. I just walked up in there in my full Blackness, like fabulous Black girlness, and said, listen, this is what I can do. Take it or leave it, because I had nothing to lose. I already, did this. And when I left, the recruiter called me on my way home and said, they were like, she's the one we've been waiting for. I speak with the CEO the next week, and he's like over explaining, like, we just went through a market analysis and there's not a lot of wiggle room with the salary. I hope it's acceptable. And so I'm like, okay, I'll look at it. Team was like, don't ever take the first offer, even if it's like whatever. And that man said, it's 198.7. And so I was glad I was on a call.
Right. And not in person.
I would not have been able to. So I was like, that sounds like it's in the market. Can you just send me the full package, and I'll look it over. I'll get back with you in a few days. I hung up that phone. I was screaming. So I will pause there again. I could go on.
That's amazing. So Team Zeekis, let's talk about who we're talking about. Team Zeekis is a coach who helps Black women get paid what they get, just period. Helps Black women get paid. Her talk at Exodus Summit 2022 was 3 secrets to earning the salary you deserve. She came in and taught us how to negotiate, why negotiate, and and what to do.
Like the tangible steps to take.
Yes.
The action. And she talked to some people one-on-one, your own people afterwards. I know, I'm pretty sure she's still available for one-on-one coaching. Y'all, if you're a Black woman who wants to make more money, hire a Black woman who wants to make you more money, right? Like, so that's actually something that I think you did a step that I think a lot of people skip, which is you wanted an outcome, but a lot of people are like, I'm not going to pay somebody, or I'm not going to work with somebody to help me get who works in this space to help me get the outcome. Right. I'm going to figure it out myself. And I say this as a figure it outer person myself. It's natural to all of us to be like, I think I can do this. I think if I just blah, blah, bloop, 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 I'll figure it out. No, you went to the expert and look what happened. Look at this.
You're so right, because that is me. I'm a recovering that type of person. And for me, I've had to work on that full surrender and really getting back in touch with myself, my body, following my instincts. I think, again, my backstory is growing up in a lot of chaos, not knowing my father, my mom, just, again, not having the capacity to give me what I needed. So I went out in the world as just like, I'm going to work. There is no plan B. There is nobody coming. There's nobody to lean on. I'm going to work. I'm going to crack the code, and very independent. But I will say there is so much liberation in community and realizing, what others have to offer and taking advantage of that, because I just would not have viewed my experience the same way without having that other person looking at it with me and just helping me get a different perspective on my own experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
absolutely. We underestimate our value. Black women in general will underestimate the value of our skill set.
Yes.
Right.
And overestimate the people we're competing against. He don't know nothing. That man don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. You don't know
nothing.
You may be getting paid more, but that is structural inequality that you can't do nothing about besides what? Get another job.
More
right?
money. Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I've been on this job 60 days. I feel like I've done literally hardly nothing. And they're all just like, oh my God, like, you're just so great. And typically I would have been like, I'm like, well, thank you.
That's right.
You have no idea what's coming. Thank you very much. I've literally done, I think I've done nothing. I'm like, every day, I cannot believe they're paying me this money to run this little HR department. Like, what in the world? So, and what it has helped me to do also is, and Tina and I talked about this, when you think about your bigger goals, it just helps you get there faster. Like, I was, again, doing everything the hard way from a financial perspective. Like, again, we're ingrained to just work harder. Like, okay, get a second job, girl, then you're tired. where I did, like I did the census one year. I was on Cambly. I worked the Christmas season at Kohl's.
Mhm.
Stop it.
You're not working Christmas season at Kohl's this year, are you?
Honey, listen.
No, ma'am.
Mhm.
I'm interviewing housekeepers. Like I'm outsourcing things to make my life easy. Like I don't have to. I'm a single mom of 2 daughters. I got, one in college, this is my pre-launch year. I got 2 juniors, a junior in college and a junior in high school. And they know pre-launch. Next year you're launching. I'm about to be, renting a condo in DC somewhere, next year. Like move on, children. And I'm gonna be totally debt free. And then I can make moves, like which would have taken me 5 or 7 years. Again, recovering financially from a marriage and what that entails. Now I'm like, girl, this is like a year and a half. Like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
To look at financial freedom.
Because a $6,000 raise is awesome. It's really nice.
Exactly.
$1,000 more changes the trajectory of your life. It changes what you can do and when you can do it, right? Yeah. And I know there's someone out there right now who's saying like, that'll never work for me, or that's nice for you, but, right? If you have a but in your mouth right now, when you think about yourself, take it out, right? Think about like, Danielle didn't think she could do this either, right? And she talked to someone who was like, let me tell you why they should be paying you more. And just hearing that was enough for her to ask for more money from the employer to begin with, right? And ask for the money they owed her. Mm-hmm. And then when the headhunter came calling, she was like, I know my worth.
Yes.
I know my worth, which if you don't know listen, these people will play you left, right, and center if you don't know what you're worth. Right?
They will, because when I paused and it was immediately, well, what can, and I said, I just need a moment to think it over. I need to look at all of this. And, even with that salary, it's great, but that's what they have budgeted to pay, right? It's life-changing for me, but I still was looking at, okay, what is this PTO talking about? What are these benefits talking about? Let me see. And all of that was team. Like, prior to talking to her, I would have been like verbally accepting over the phone, like 190, what? Yes. Please lock it in. Thank you.
On Monday.
Information. I will give a 1 hour notice. Like, when can I? But yeah, it's, and I will say I'm just a regular person. I don't think I have any super I'm not a scientist or some kind of engineer. So I know it can sound like, oh, that's for her. But I think we underestimate ourselves. Mm-hmm. And by and large, we know this. African-American women are the most educated women in America. So if you want to level up in the job market, there are people that can help you level up. There are jobs out here that are paying you more money probably than what you're making now. And I will say, toxic jobs aside, I think that when you work on yourself, I'll speak for me, I think I could almost go into any environment because now I'm different. So you just know from the get-go, like that's the other part of it when you're engaging, maybe people have been burned on jobs, but I think when you work on yourself and you get that level of what you bring to the table and you work on that inner stuff, your instincts are there. From the jump, like, oh, this is not going to work. This environment, it doesn't matter what they're paying me. It's not enough money. But to be able, like, my boss is wonderful. My team is great. I'm like, Lord, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
That's right.
And the thing is, there are probably 30, 40, 50 other employers who'd be paying you the same money right now to do the same amount of no work. We just sometimes don't think it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not believing that you can have that thing you want is the thing that's getting in the way of getting the thing you want, right? Because you could easily, like you did with the other recruiters, be like, nah, y'all ain't talking about nothing. right?
Yeah, I think it's like a scam. Like, oh, this can't, like, oh, the job. There ain't no way there's a job paying that for this. They trying to take my. It's crazy.
Right.
Or I'll say for me, when I did start thinking, I'm like a recovering black and white thinker. Again, just for me, it's like if I do this, then this happens. And so because I had worked for the government, I did try probably a year and a half ago, like, let me try to get back into the government. And it just wasn't working. It was like, oh, doesn't matter that you worked here before. Oh, we don't care. Like, I couldn't even get an interview. And I thought there was only one way, right, to get back to this salary and this pathway. And now here I am, at a salary that I never could have achieved on the GS scale. Like, it doesn't matter how many years I worked. So there are many ways to get to that higher level. We just have to really be open and just be willing to expand what our vision is for our lives.
That's awesome.
Yes, expand the vision, which you said that you named 3 different pieces that helped you get here, right? You talked about the mindset, right? That's expanding the vision. You talked about the confidence, and that came from hearing from other women in this space, hearing from Teen in particular in this space who knew what she was talking about, right? And the skill also. The skill that you already walked in with, right? Plus the skill that Teen helped you to learn. The don't say yes to the first offer. When they say the number, don't go running around the room like they must have made a mistake, right? Those 3 things really work together for you. And these are things that happened because you took the time to go to Exodus Summit, which we'll link to in the description, because just because the summit is over doesn't mean it's over. You can still get in on the sessions that help Danielle, right? Those sessions are still available. You can watch the replays. We'll link to that in the description of this video. But because you went to the summit and because you participated, you didn't just go and watch and hear other people talk, but you were an active participant, right? You talked about first how Teacher Jade's session, you were like, oh, I could do this, right? You were participating.
I did her challenge after that. I created the course and I was like looking on Teachable. I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out, figure it out. But sorry, Stephanie, I cut you off.
No, that's good. That's one, right? It shows that Rashida started off talking about you took action, because a lot of somebody else attended the summit. Somebody else was being underpaid at their job and didn't do what Teen said to do, right? And then did not walk away with what you walked away with. Right? Someone else attended Teacher Jade's session and thought in her mind about a course she could have made, but did not take the action to make the course. So this is it's not a one-step process, right? It's not just get the information. You have to take the action. You take the action because you're worth it, right? Because you're worth the effort. You're worth the inconvenience of doing the thing, the inconvenience of having a difficult conversation at work. Right? The inconveniences and it's worth that. The outcome, the what you get in return is so worth it. That's why we do it. That's why we take the action. Yeah. So, I mean, you're our success story. We introduced, we're going to take the credit. Okay. I'm always
take all the credit.
We are.
Even though Teen taught you in our summit. Okay. So we're going to take the credit for that. You what an amazing success story you are for us.
It's the truth. I mean, I would have never heard of Teen before. Like, it wouldn't have been on my radar at all. And I just have to say, I am huge fan, like a fangirling out for both of you and what you are doing for Black women specifically. Again, as someone who, I don't know that I'll be an expat per se, but the other things that I've gained from being a part of this online community are tremendous, just in terms of my confidence level and seeing real Black women just like me doing things. Like, this is not just, something that's out there, but these are real women. Like, I didn't make it to the DMV meetup. I had a conflict, but I plan to meet up. Like, we're just real women out here changing our lives. And so I really, really appreciate both of you for availing yourselves. And so, take all the credit. I know y'all will. I don't have to tell you that. You're going to.
We love to. Her life would never have been the same. So I would like $25,000. I'm going to give you an account. No? Just take the credit, not the cash. Okay.
One day, when I get these children through college, I'll be able to write checks like that and make it rain. But right now, I'm trying to pay these college tuition bills.
All right now.
Yeah. So what do you think? Okay. So let's talk about what you think is coming for you. So you gave us a hint, right? The girls are going to be off your back soon, and you're going to be. What do you? What is the dream? What's the next dream?
So honestly, just to dream. I think I'm the oldest daughter, taking care of everybody, again, in a marriage where I just overfunctioned, overgave. And now I just want to live. I have a desire to write a book. So, I kind of join you here and there, Stephanie, in the morning. I am a morning person, but I want to carve out that time to write my book. I want to travel more. I did a mini sabbatical because I've always believed in using up all my PTO. I'm always trying to figure out, I'm always on the low end. Like I'm healthy. I don't have to worry about saving up days. Like I'm taking my PTO, but I bunched it all together and took all my PTO and did a mini sabbatical last year. So I envisioned living that life where eventually I'm 3 to 6 months out of the country, maintaining a home base in the US for now. I mean, those are the dreams that I have. This organization I work for, the PTO is through the roof because I'm a director level, so I even get more. But we also have 3 weeks of work from anywhere as part of it. That's not your PTO just because of, the lessons learned from the pandemic. So I'm like, they might have to roll me up out of here because this is some good, these benefits are good. And listen, but those are the things I want to do. Travel more and just be responsible just for me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay. And so these are the things that you are able to walk into knowing you can do them because you have the money to do them. Yeah. Making more money can solve a whole lot of problems, right?
A whole lot.
Answer a whole lot of questions, relieve a whole lot of anxiety.
Just to be able, like the little, and this is getting very in the weeds, but when you're just making enough, single mom in a high cost of living area, and it just is what it is. Everything was like, okay, I had like a payment plan with my dental office because like dental insurance is trash. The tire on the car and trying to figure it out. Like those first couple of paychecks, I was calling like, what's the balance? Run the card. Like, let's pay it off. What's that balance? Pay it off. Run the balance. Like, I'm tired. I've worked too hard to live like that, and I know the privilege that comes with, just that level, but it's just a weight off. Like, I don't have to worry about the money's in the bank. Like things are going to the retirement, things are going to savings, everything is paid. And I can swipe my card with confidence, whatever I need and wherever I want to go. Like that is just freedom. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. It's a level of freedom that I am just grateful that I'm walking in.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's hearing you say this validates the choice we made to have Team talk twice at the summit. Mm-hmm. She talked about increasing your pay, but she also had a larger session, like a more in-depth session about that. And we thought it was really important for people to be able to have interaction with her so that they could, ask the questions they have, because we all have different doubts, right? We all have different fears and all have different hopes and dreams. And so let this be the moment where you tell yourself, I can get more if I invest more. And I'm gonna say that goes for every part of your life, right? If you want more money and you want it from a salary, have someone help you with this part of the job search, with the what are my skills? How can I monetize them? How can I talk about the things I do in a way that will make employers say, oh, she's the one. Yeah, we talked to some other people. She's the one. It wasn't them. She's the one. She's the one, right? Immediately. They didn't wait 6 days while they're still talking to other people. On her drive home, they were like, hey girl, hi. Hi, can we go together now? Right? Like, so
That's right.
there are people who, and this is not me saying, come get coaching from me. No, this is me saying that like the perfect person to help you is out there. And I know that sometimes we're afraid that like, oh, I might pay this person money and I don't get anything back from it. Or you could pay this person money and get $100,000 more of your salary, right? Like,
Yes.
Right? Like I have paid for coaches before and been burned. I've paid for coaches before and had that money flowing immediately, quadrupled back into my pocket, right? And so this is a moment to realize that help is out there. It exists for all of us. And I don't want to judge you for trying to do it yourself, but I'm gonna judge you, right? Like there's a little bit of like, you don't have to carry all the water all the time.
No, y'all.
Right? Somebody else is out there with the skills that you don't have and you can't get from watching YouTube, right? Or Googling it.
No.
Somebody else is out there that can help you get to your goal. Maybe you would get to the goal on your own path, but they're going to help you get there faster, right? It was less than 3 months. And how long between the time you watched the summit and the time you asked for the rest of your money? How long was that?
It was during the summit. I feel like I was crafting the email during the summit. I'm like, why am I? Because I was already irritated, mad, and and of course, my immediate supervisor is just the way our organization was. She didn't know, but she was so excited, like, you got your raise, and da 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 da. So I'm expecting this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and she's so sweet, but I was like, oh, thanks, And so I was on the summit. It just gave me the courage. So I was immediately emailing her over the weekend, like, hey, we need a meeting. Like, I need to meet with you. It's urgent, like, which I never do. So she's like, oh, we can meet Monday. I'm like, yes, we can meet Monday. I need some things we need to talk about. So it was immediate. I just realized, like, stop playing and ask for your money or ask why. Like, are we about to go under? Do we not have it? I literally was asking, like, what is the problem? Because I'm looking at my rating. Something's wrong. What's wrong?
Y'all thought I wouldn't notice or I wouldn't say anything.
That's right.
She was like, oh, I didn't realize. Oh, but I won't say her name, but our boss, I was like, well, the CEO, she know. Like, she know what the band is and what she had said. Like,
okay, so this is also an invitation to get your ticket to Exodus Summit if you haven't gotten it yet. And each year we do a different theme. Last year's theme was Move Abroad Money. And we brought in 19 speakers to help women in 19 different categories of life, help them get more money one way or another, right? So Danielle said she tried the teaching, making a course route. She tried some other things. Stephanie talks about this all the time. You probably don't have to do more work than you're doing right now. You probably need to do it a different way or for different people, right?
Yes.
You don't need to be working at Kohl's or doing the census. You just need to be working in a different.
It just sounds ridiculous that was just, less than 2 years ago. Like I was out here literally with crazy white folks. Like, no, I'm like, sorry, you get killed out here. They don't want to be counted. Leave us alone, government.
We're told if you want more money, you have to work more, or you have to work harder, or some combination of the two of them, without realizing you can work, baby, you working less, right? And making more money. There's a way for all of us. You just have to find the way that's right for you. And you found the way that was right for you. It was within your job, right? Yeah. A lot of people really push entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Stephanie is one too. A lot of people kind of push it as like the only way to succeed. But here, Danielle is an example of, if them people ain't toxic, if they're not running you ragged and they're paying you the dollars you need.
Go get that check.
Go get the check. Go get the check.
Yes.
There's no shame in getting that, getting the check and being like, and I don't have to really do anything. That's the life.
Free yourself from thinking that hard work and more money go together. They don't go together. They don't. There's no connection. There's no connection.
The poster chat, they don't go together. Like,
They don't.
That's
But
right.
it's ingrained in us, right? The way to get more money is to do more work. And no, thank you. No, thank you. Right? You're already working out. You're doing something now. Get paid. Get paid well for what you're doing right in this very minute.
Right.
Yes. So, I was saying, that's right. I got a little distracted. Last year's theme was Move Abroad Money. The year before that, so that was 2021, we did a reunion kind of thing. We got updates from people who attended our very first Exodus Summit, and talked about where they were in their lives and where they were living and what they were doing and how things had changed for them since attending the first summit. And the very first summit was a marathon. It was 7 or 8 days with 50-something speakers. And that's where Exodus Summit started. It's what we came from. It is where women got together to kind of like, we gave you every piece you needed. You want to travel with children? Here's someone talking about traveling with children. You want to live on the islands in the Caribbean? Here's someone talking about living there. And so we had we had almost too many different topics. Was it 40 something?
I think 50 something.
50 something?
Or maybe 50 something speakers.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. A lot of information, but it got people abroad. It got people out the nest and living their best life and working for themselves. And so Exodus Summit is coming up again this October. We don't have dates. We don't have tickets. There's nothing to know about yet. But if you're a member of our community on Facebook, that is exodussummit.com/community, will take you to our Facebook group. It's for Black women only. If you join it, you'll know when the next summit is coming. If you're on our email list, which we'll drop a link to below, you'll get an email about when tickets are on sale. And we're very, very excited about this year coming up, because we know every year before the summit is over, we hear from someone who's like, my life changed during the summit. During the first year of a summit, someone emailed me on like day 2 and was like, I quit my job. Day 2, she was like, I quit. I can't listen to this, like all this inspiration and work in this place where I don't want to be. She was like, I quit, right? We're writing emails, taking action. The action takers out there are coming away from the summit with wins that we can't even tally, right? Like, we love to take credit. We don't even know. We are unable to keep track of all the wins coming from this. And we say this not because I need you to buy a ticket. I say this because I want you to change your life.
That's right.
I want you to change your life. If you want to double your salary, I want you to see the way to do it. If you want to create a course, if you want to become an infopreneur, if you want to be successful at YouTube, I want you to do it too, right? And we give you the tools in the summit. So we're linked to all 3 summits below, Steph.
Sure.
We'll link to all 3 years below, and you can, pick and choose what you want, or you can get all of them. Yeah, lots of information, different information. If you don't want, if moving abroad is of no interest to you, or taking a sabbatical, you don't need year 1. If increasing your money isn't important to you, right? You don't need year 2022 though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need everything, but if what we're talking about is of interest to you, start with the summits. Watch the replays. They're really, really powerful.
I agree. We put them together because we want Black women to go out and live their dreams, right? Mm-hmm. Don't have me and Rashida and Danielle be the only ones. Okay. Don't have us out here. Don't have us be the only ones who are living our dreams. Live your dreams. Black women are doing it, and Black women come to Exodus Summit every year to show you how to do it. Mm-hmm. All right.
And I'll just say, even with all of that, what you can gain, if you don't want any of that, what you gain from the community and watching the freedom. Like, I went to Puerto Rico, I think it was 2021, around the holidays. I went in that rainforest, ran around there like Dora the Explorer in my bathing suit. Like, these are things I just would not have done. And it's that kind of, again, the mindset shift, that you can just be a free totally free Black woman in this world and own your agency, that's what you're getting out of this community. So it might not be the money, the this or that, but there's just other things that you're going to gain along the way. I'm just a believer in it, because I was like, who am I? Like this. I did not care. I was like, I don't know these people. I don't care. I'm in the waterfall. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
All this thigh meat is out here. Like, I don't care.
Give it to them. They want it. Yes. Good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, ladies.
Oh, wait.
We're going to link to Danielle, as Danielle told us, she's writing. And so if you want to follow Danielle, we're going to link to her Medium account. Is it called Medium account?
Yes. I blog on medium.com, working on getting my life together. I think I sent in my Instagram as well. There's a combination of inspiration and my life and whatever I'm led to share. But yeah, I do blog on Medium.
We have linked to all of that in the description of this video as well. All right, Danielle, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming in, for sharing so openly, right? And also thank you for putting yourself at the top of your priorities list and taking action that can change things for you, continuing to go forward. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
About Danielle, Big Bucks Brooks, okay?